So today in this video, we are going to talk about the basis of chords and harmonies of intervals. As you saw in the last video, the difference in pitch between two notes is called an interval. Before we were dealing with whole steps and half steps, but that's not all you need to know. There is a whole system that you have to learn using numbers. It's important that you learn it because it's the key to understanding how chords are built, harmonic relationships, scale construction, and so much more. Intervals are represented by numbers, showing the distance between the notes along the scale, led up by a description by either major, minor, perfect, augmented, or diminished. It depends on the interval. So let's talk about scales. Let's look at the difference between intervals in major and minor scales. The first difference appears at the third note of the scale. In a major scale, the third note of the scale is 4 half steps up from the root note. That's why the interval of 3 half steps is called a minor third and 4 half steps a major third. Minor third is to C to E flat. 1, 2, 3. Major third, C to E. 1, 2, 3, 4. Also remember that a minor interval is always 1 half step flatter than its major equivalent. In both minor and major scales, the 4th and 5th of the scale remains the same size interval from the root note. There is no minor 4th or major 5th. These intervals are called perfect. C to F is a perfect 4th, and C to G is a perfect 5th. In minor scales, both 6th and 7th of the scale are minor intervals, meaning they are 1 half step flatter than their major equivalent. In the key of C minor, the 6th and 7th notes are A flat and B flat. And in C major, the 6th and 7th notes are A major and B major. Minor 6th, C to A flat, major 6th, C to A major. Minor 7th, C to B flat, major 7th, C to B major. The term perfect also applies to the interval of an octave or the unison, which means the same note. 4th and 5th octave and unison do not come in major and minor. However, these intervals will be flattened, lowered, or sharpened, raised by a half step. In these cases, the interval are referred to as augmented or diminished. For example, C to F is a perfect 4th. So C to F sharp is an augmented 4th. C to G is a perfect 5th. So C to G flat is a diminished 5th. As you can see, the intervals are the same size. The notes are enharmonically the same, but they have different names because they have different functions. C to F is a 4th because starting on the 1 from C, you count up 4 scale positions to get to F. Whether the interval is augmented, the interval is still a 4th. The same reason applies to the 5th. There is a name for the interval of an augmented 4th, diminished 5th. That is what we call a tritone. A tritone is an equivalent size of 3 whole steps. This is the end of this lesson for today. In the next video, we will discuss the topic of tritones. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you learned something today, and we hope to see you in the next video.